Hey, I'm Brian Posehn. You may know me from my stand-up comedy or from the TV shows I've been on, like the Sarah Silverman program. I love comic books, metal, and anything nerdy, except furries. They're gross. But that does include Dungeons & Dragons, which I've been playing with the same group of my funny friends for a decade now. So we decided to record us playing the game and turn it into a podcast, and we call it...
Nerd Poker. Dungeons & Dragons with Brian Posehn and friends.
Blaine! Ken!
Sarah!
Sark. Don't forget Gerry.
All right. I'm Brian Posehn, and you're listening to Nerd Poker, Dungeons & Dragons with Brian Posehn and friends. We're starting...
Some friends.
Yeah,
we got
starting
stragglers.
A little light on friends, but we got to get going. So Blaine should be here soon. He thought he wasn't recording tonight.
But he is.
He thought wrong.
And Jerry's on his way, too, at some point.
What's this Blaine not being here tonight yet brought to us by Blaine? That's what I thought.
He's on his way, though, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's on his way. So let's get started. By the time we get through all the donations...
Yeah, they'll be here.
Dude, you look like such
It's
a
hilarious,
criminal. You
man.
look like such a thug.
So people...
But like a thug with some fives.
with
You know what I
names
mean?
written on them. Yeah.
Like balling with $5.
Little money hustler.
So people are handing me cash all the time now, and I'm constantly like, write your name down, because they'll walk away, and,
Right.
you know. But so I think I got everybody to.
I like that it
put
goes
their
back into
names down.
circulation with their names on it.
Yeah,
Hey, that's Nerd Poker money.
Andrew Hermance, Hermance. These people all came to see my shows out in Connecticut, Foxwoods.
Is that a
So
casino?
so it's either people that live in like Springfield or Rhode Island, or there's a bunch of places right there. So
Thanks.
Who was that?
Andrew
Andrew.
Hermance,
All right, sweet.
Thank you, Andrew.
Ted Glinka, yep,
Ted.
Sarah Rulis,
All right.
Nice name, right?
and
Yeah.
Dave Anderson.
I thought you were going to say Dave Anthony.
I know.
That
he
would
would
be-
Thank
never
you,
give
not
money to
Dave
this
Anthony.
show.
Thanks to all you guys. Yeah, they were great shows, and people were super cool out there.
I love
so.
that that's a thing now.
Yeah. Oh, and
Brian Posehn cash.
it's so weird.
We were going to make you a Nerd Poker thong for sure.
So I got a baby card. It says, "Baby's here. I thought I'd sent something evil. It was a bleeding maggot-filled heart that we mourn the passing, or it was with a bleeding maggot-filled heart that we mourn the passing of Amartha Mon. But when one portal closes, a Hot Topic kiosk opens. So welcome, Damian Wormwood Darkoman, you magic-filled bundle of hate." And this is from Matt Cassar.
From Patton Oswalt.
Cassar. Thanks for the hours of entertainment. Can't wait for each Wednesday when the new eps drop. Hope this small donation helps to keep the lights on. Matt Cassar. Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
Super
Thank
cool
you.
card. I'm going to keep that card. It's pretty fucking awesome. And he also put some cash in there. Thanks, you guys, for all the cash. Where's Jerry to buy beers?
Thanks for the cash.
He's buying beers.
Do we have an actual or a written donor? No.
Just cash.
Yeah.
Just straight up cash.
People have
That's how
bailed
we
on
do
the.
We don't want to leave a paper trail.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Don't want the IRS. Well, you also don't want to explain this to the IRS.
Right.
It'd be very awkward.
So let's jump in.
All right.
Yeah, my extra $60 a week I'm making.
Yeah.
Strictly
Oh,
under
yeah.
the
It's so
table.
funny. You guys laughing. You're going to come in here burning money. I know. How dare you?
All right, let's do this. And then hopefully Blaine shows up shortly.
Yes.
Yeah, so we left off. You guys were, and you, Sarah, were making your way through
All right.
the.
You don't have to do that every time. I think at this point in American dialect, you guys can
It works?
safely
And
include
gal.
men and women together.
I have always
I don't
used
know.
guys to identify everyone.
Gal sounds weird, though.
Yeah, it
I say
does.
you guys. I say
That's
you
what I
guys all
said,
the
gal.
time.
Yeah.
Gal sounds
Yeah.
very cowboy.
Yeah.
I say lady sometimes, but I just feel like in general, if you're referring to a group. Anyway, let's just
And
move on from this.
Folks sounds really
Folks,
stupid.
don't call us folks.
always
Actually, do
biased.
call us folks. That's going to be really fun.
This is fascinating.
Please try to call us
conversation.
folks every
All
time.
right, folks. Brian's already knocked out.
Hey, you guys.
It's not even 80 degrees in here yet.
Feels like it might be,
brought
though,
this.
actually.
I thought that was,
Oh
I
my
got scared. I thought it was
God.
mace.
Was that given to you by a fan at a show, too?
No. No, but I had it for the first time last week, and it works.
Brian's waving a tiny bottle of 5-hour energy. I'd think you would need like 3 of those. You're a
Well,
big
he has
guy.
2.
Yeah, I have 2.
Wait, you
just in
do?
case.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure there's more downstairs
You're
at the
good
vape store.
What is in those? Just pure caffeine?
I
don't even know what's
man.
in
It
it,
sounds
but
like
Ginseng and
it sounds like
tastes-
they milk bees.
They're fucking terrible.
Yeah, I don't like
it.
them.
I'm not doing an ad.
it's like what's the soda shit that I don't drink?
Monster,
Red-
Red Bull.
Red-
Oh, Red Bull. Yeah.
But not carbonated and not thinned down with flavoring.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just bitter, nasty crap.
So that's good. You're gonna pound that and like
Yeah, if I
few
start
minutes,
feeling sleepy
start
after my
fading.
dinner.
Yeah, so you guys were exploring. The underground.
What
and
about Sarah? Was she also?
I think we. I'm going to do her recap right after I do all the men's recap.
It's like the Olympics.
And you guys were, if I remember right, you had just moved away from. You discovered a sort of a underground cliff dwelling style residential area, basically, that looks like it had been used to house dwarven miners. But you had found, or you had sort of avoided a potential booby trap situation in the stairwell leading down, and you guys ended up sort of using the magic of Blackie Green to drift down the face of the sort of apartment
I
complex.
think he drifted and we climbed.
Yeah, I guess he was ready to catch you. He was fielding
Yeah.
you guys. Yeah, but you guys had heard a couple of the man rats.
The guys.
Yeah, yeah.
The guys.
and Sarah.
And had found you had on the way down the stairs. You had found that there had been some explosive barrels set up, and the rats had detected you as you sort of sidestepped their trap. And as you guys moved into the tunnel, leaving that chamber, you'd heard drums, the distant sound of drums start beating. So we are picking up right as you guys move into the passage that leaves the cave-dwelling cavern behind you. Also back there, though, there's at least a couple, because you heard them whispering, a couple of the man rats. So you haven't seen any more of them, and you were sort of contemplating. I remember you were trying to figure out if you could set off the barrels or not, but they were tucked into the stairwell, so you didn't really have a safe way to detonate
Yeah,
them.
just
But
eventually
and you
hurt
guys
us.
eventually were like, "Oh, fuck it, we'll just leave." So, and that's where we pick up. You are double timing it into this cavern and moving. Where's my maps at? Moving on to the next series of tunnels. You're following Trondor. If you're just hopping into the live stream, the short version is the adventurers are taking an underground highway basically and trying to get to a city, the hometown of our own resident paladin, Glenishmore, to figure out what's going on with the sort of mind control zombie outbreak that's happening up top on the overland. So I think we'll pick up right there. You guys are following Trondor. The drums are very unsettling.
And they're behind us, yes? Or
Well, it's sort of reverberating through the passages, so you can't tell if they are coming from behind you or in front of you. It sounds like it's coming out of the rock. This is a deep.
Great.
And Trondor.
Is it like a cool jam?
No. This is like a real
Like a drum circle
boring,
kind of-
It sounds like the dude doing ramming speed in the galleys.
Oh, all right.
No, there's not any progressive house or electro house. Unfortunately, that would
No
be
hacky
epic.
sax
So
or-
we could
okay.
do
Oh, God.
LED.
Why would you take us
LED
there so
hula
quickly?
hoops. Have you guys seen LED hula hoops? My God.
No, I've seen people with
It's
those light up finger gloves. You do that shit?
No. But if somebody's good at that, most people are not. But if they're good at it, it's good.
Impressive, yeah.
The LED hoops, though, it's like watching the end of 2001 when he goes into the monolith. It's fucking incredible. Anyway,
You're talking about some shit at a rave?
cool story, bro, right?
It's what he does when he's not doing this.
All right.
He's either at a rave or he's walking in slow motion.
God, you
pretending
just
to be
opened
there.
the door and like walked right into this.
I know. Well, you know,
mess. The
every,
shame spiral.
every week I hope my friends have opened their minds a little to new things, and I'm
And you bring up
disappointed.
New
hula
things.
hoops,
New things
LED.
from 1996. Raves.
New to you.
the wonderful world
hate
of
you.
light up hula hoops.
What's this Burning Man I've heard so
I want
much
this
about?
to be called Nerd Poker D&D with Brian Posehn and friends and Sark. That's what I want it to be called.
Oh,
from
that's
now
a
on.
breakup.
Yeah.
That's you don't
Whoa.
threaten that. That's
and
like
guys
a big D.
and Sarah.
My feeling is hurt.
Okay, so you move into this tunnel. You're following Trondor. He's a little.
Anybody?
He's gotten into. He's got his game face on. He's not scared because he's as much of a infatuated dwarven warrior that he is with you, Mildred. He's still, pretty badass. But you can tell looking at his face that he's like, this could be pretty serious trouble. So he's hiking through as fast as he can. And he's explaining as you go that the main part of the sort of the area that would have been inhabited in the mine is behind you. He's like, we should be pretty good. Moving forward, it's just tunnels. We've sort of crossed through the busy part, and now it's going to get into smaller and smaller passages that we should be able to evade pursuit and eventually get to Glenishmore. But he does not want to get overrun, so he's hauling ass through the tunnel.
Is Richard pinging any evil ahead?
Yeah. Do you want to play Sir Richard, or do you want me to?
I'm just asking if he's pinging any.
He's not right now.
Okay.
But that's a good. Maybe I'll drive.
Yeah, you can
I'll
drive.
drve these guys then, just so
Please
that
do.
you guys can concentrate. All right. So, Sir Richard the Paladin not picking up any evil on his Bahamut sense. Trondor on point. He is hauling ass, and he's taking you guys through. You pass a couple intersections, and he without unwaveringly, he's weaving through these passages. The sound of the drums doesn't go away, but it does get a little fainter, which leads you to believe that they were originating somewhere behind you. The passages also start to get a lot less cleanly cut, and they start to get a little more, the sides of the tunnels are no longer flat. The floor's not flat. It's sort of like a rough-hewn stone. I think you guys are moving. The torches become more and more intermittent, and it starts to get darker and darker. But you have enough in your group with infravision that you're able to follow without too much trouble. But after you've been sort of weaving through tunnels for maybe about 45 minutes, Trondor signals a halt. You're at a really dark part of the tunnel path system here. You haven't seen a torch in several minutes. Those of you, so I think we had Blackie and Mildred with infravision along with Trondor. Those of you with infravision, you see the tunnel ends in just like a gaping black pit. And Trondor, he sort of edges up to the edge and kicks like a pebble off the edge. And you just see it go into the dark. And he turns and he like shrugs. He's like, he's like, this is something new. There was no cave system at this point in the mines. He's like, this must have been formed since the dwarves were, fled the area. And he starts looking around, and he's like, "Do you see this?" And he's showing you the side of the tunnel. You didn't notice it because it was dark and it wasn't. It didn't have heat. But he's showing you there's like soot and blast marks. He's like, it looks like this, whatever is this opening, this area was like carved out in a massive explosion. He's like, I don't know what's in here. This is not new though. This wasn't for us. This must have happened a long time ago. He's like, we could try and go back, but he's like, now this is not on any, this isn't on any mental map of mine. So he's like, we could also try and cross this.
But is it an open floor?
Yeah, it looks literally like you're looking out a window over like just a black.
But we can't see the other side.
No.
So Blackie can.
Blackie or Stargoyle could
explore,
sort of
yeah.
scout it out. Yeah.
Okay.
I think Blackie,
Maybe
Stargoyle could go
can,
first.
We don't have torches to show us any, or just
You do. You can light them up.
Right away.
You can light them up if you want, but it's like pitch black right here.
The infra.
If you don't see anything, then yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, what would a light up hula hoop look like, Scott? If you had that infravision,
I'm telling you, it would just.
Wouldn't that be? Are you thinking about how awesome that would
Yeah,
be?
your fucking life would change. I'm telling you. It's like what you imagine. You get hit by a bus. And as your soul is skyrocketing to wherever you believe it's supposed to go, that's what's staring at an LED hoop.
But isn't it just a
As a
light up
dwarf?
hula hoop, or do the lights move around it?
Flickering in patterns and creating. Sometimes it looks like the hoop's not even moving. Don't even get me started on this.
I just
rave
need
shit.
everyone who's listening and can't see him to know that his eyes got so bright and shining when he described it.
Yeah.
You should buy a
Joy.
bunch and start ledhulahoop.com. You'll be a fucking $10 heir in a week.
Oh man, I'm gonna hoop for you, Brian. What do you think of that? Nope, not even worth scooting back to the mic.
He did not even move his eyeballs over to look at you for that.
That is the image. The caption of that picture is 0 fucks.
I'm gonna hoop for you, Brian. I'm gonna hoop for you. It's like, isn't it from The Omen?
I'm hooping for you, Damien.
Exactly.
Hey, Posehn, you want a hoop show?
Oh my god.
Choke on that soda.
Wow.
Choke on it.
That's the end of Nerd Poker right there.
So Stargoyle flies out.
Yeah, Stargoyle, he buzzes out, and he's gonna. Oh, here
he have
goes
an
the
LED
first
hula hoop?
5-hour energy.
He
yeah.
just insted while he opens his 5-hour energy. It's perfect.
Stargoyle flies out into the inky darkness, and he's gone for a few minutes. He flutters right back to Blackie's shoulder, and you hear the brief conversation. It's like, "Hey, Stargoyle, welcome back," and Stargoyle's like, and Blackie Green's like, "Hey, stay black, Stargoyle." And you're like, "What did he say?" And Blackie goes, so he found he's like, it's actually, when we tested the kicking at the pebble, it's actually a really slow incline. So it's not like a sheer drop.
Okay.
And he says, oh God, look at that. That's Brian just drank his 5-hour
berry
energy.
flavored.
Oh yeah.
Barely. Ugh.
It's Hitler berries.
Yeah, that shit, it tastes like they wring out a sweaty bunch of armpit hair. It's such snake oil to me. I just don't.
It's just caffeine. It's just
yeah.
flavored.
It works.
Yeah?
I wouldn't
Yeah,
have done
hypes
it
you
a
up.
second time. I did it last week, and it totally fucking woke me up.
Look at
It's
him.
literally just flavored
I'm gonna
caffeine.
be a lot
I
of
think.
fun.
So it
His
His
can't
eyes
not
are wide
work.
open.
Yeah, look at that.
Bizarre.
Because it's weird, because it looked like you just died. And now you're back super peppy. Yeah. No, stop. Don't do that. Don't.
I know. I've never seen that face on him.
Don't
It's
make that
creepy.
We're gonna have a good time, guys.
No.
It's new Brian.
Oh my god.
All right, so.
What's going on in the building? It sounds like fireworks are going off.
Oh, yeah.
Someone's banging.
Oh,
Banging.
God, I hope we get a Die Hard situation in this building. Wouldn't that be
Awesome.
amazing?
Yeah. Either or somebody's just fucking upstairs.
We'll make a few podcasts.
Well, who are we in the Die Hard situation?
Wait, what?
In a Die Hard situation, there aren't a lot of people to be like. You don't really want to be in a Die Hard situation in this building, do you?
No. Hell no. Not in a building that locks its bathroom against its own employees on the 5th floor behind security. I'm like, dude, this place would be locked down. It would be us running down the hallway, banging on the doors, screaming help, and then they'd come out of the elevator and shoot us.
That's what I'm saying.
That would be the end of our...
It feels like that would be the extent of our journey. Yes. So help! We can just crash. We should just jump and crash through these windows immediately. Plummet to our deaths. Anyway.
Yeah. So Stargoyle.
Plummeting to our deaths.
Stargoyle. Blackie says, sort of, with a shrug. He's like, Stargoyle says we can jump and slide down.
Fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we're going down. I thought there was going to be a cross, like the.
Well. No, he didn't find a way across, but he thinks you could get down to the bottom of this.
How far down is it?
He says the drop is 97 wingspans. Stargoyle wingspans.
Oh, Stargoyle.
So the idea.
So Blackie's trying to do the math. He's real smart, so he's like adding it up on his fingers. He's like, maybe 100 feet. I don't know.
So we go down to the bottom, and then we're just going to continue on that level.
Yeah, I mean that's one option. Trondor he's willing to backtrack a bit, but he thinks if you can get into this cavern and get across, it might be better. So he's into continuing to press forward. Also, Sir Richard brings up the fact that this would be once again doing what maybe is not expected. So could be good.
All right.
And then he would call you a shitty DM.
Let's sally forth.
Then I'm a shitty DM. You're a shitty DM. Me, however it would play out. Who's going first?
I'll go.
In a sign of trust of his familiar, Blackie Green is going to cast flight on himself. Not to be a doubter, but yeah, he's going to fly. You guys can jump.
He can.
So Bart, you're going first.
Well, let him fly down there if he's going to fly.
Well, someone should go
He's
who
safe.
can maybe see.
Light it up.
Also.
Yeah.
So he's flying. Yeah, he's flying.
I got no infra.
Okay. Whoa, listen to that. Yeah.
I kind of like it.
Do you guys hear that? I wonder if the podcast.
It sounds like either there's like
It's my stomach.
It sounds like the
like
drums,
amateur wrestling
the
going
drums
on
of the
upstairs.
man rats. Yeah,
It's because I ate healthy tonight.
maybe it's haunted.
So let's see. Blackie is going to light a torch.
It really is really loud.
Yeah,
Did
it
World
is
War
super
III
loud.
start?
Our sound engineer. I can't speak today, but he just left. We should fuck with his. Let's fuck with his equipment.
Good idea.
Let's record
Let's
some
mess up our own
let's
podcast.
Let's record some really fucked up shit and then not tell him. Blackie lights a torch, and you see him like a little Independence Day sparkler. He buzzes, he flies out, and he shoots down. He's like, "Yeah, you should be good." He's like, "Jump down here." There's sand at the bottom.
Yeah. Sand.
Yeah.
Quicksand.
So Bart, you take the first sort of leap of faith.
Stupid fucking place.
And you land, and the incline is, or the increasing incline is very gentle. So you land almost like a slide.
Oh, wee.
And your feet are, braced out in front of you, and you end up sort of in a real, like gravel almost. The floor of this cavern is just filled with gravel. You see up above you see Blackie sort of encouraging whoever's going to go next. I think you guys, Sir Richard hops in, Damien. Yeah. So you guys all slide down. And as Blackie, as Trondor hits the bottom, you can see in your infravision for just a moment before Blackie comes back down with a torch. As soon as he hits the gravel, Trondor seems puzzled and distressed, and he's casting about like he dropped something, and he's rooting around in the gravel, and he suddenly shouts. He's like, put the torch out. And he's waving Blackie away. So Blackie zips back up. He's like, put the torch away. Oh. And he's like, nobody move. He's like, nobody light anything. Oh. And Blackie, the light goes out, so anyone with normal vision now is plunged into, total darkness. And you can hear Blackie's robes flutter as he comes back down.
Riddick can see us.
Yeah.
I can see the dark.
Trondor. It's so good.
It's so good.
Trondor, in a sort of a hushed or like a stage whisper, because he wants everyone to hear. He's like this must be where they store their explosives. Wow. He's like, this is not. These are not rocks. He's like, this is the raw gunpowder.
Good job, Stargoyle.
I was gonna blow some fire to see what was going on in the room, so it's a good thing I didn't.
Oh God!
Hey!
Sorry, you guys. I must have just missed an email or something.
Blaine!
That's great. That's fine.
Blackie just flew in.
You are flying around exploring a room.
Dwarf tired.
Yeah, so Trondor, he's sort of sifting through it, and his like face just says "mind blown," because he's holding, as he's sort of like, he's looking to see if it's just a layer, but he's sort of gently digging through this, and it's just like piles of explosive gravel and powder. He's like, I don't think this is a trap. This seems like just where they would have, refined it.
But it's like any spark of our movement could set it off.
He says if we're moving, it won't go. But if
we generate sparks constantly.
Yeah,
speak for yourself.
Starkville just told us we could slide down this cliff. That was the only way. There was an abyss in front of us, but then there was a cliff there, so we slid down the cliff, and now we're at the bottom. And Trondor figured out that it's full of like explosive rock. These pebbles or sand that we thought we were in is really
just giant gunpowder granules.
Yeah,
right.
Oh, that's good.
So you just you're flying above us.
Yeah.
All right.
I had you cast flight as you sort of buzzed around. The jump was a little bit of a leap of faith, so you have flight going right now, and have for I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, like 4 rounds.
Okay. Well, then, do I have a levitate spell going?
Not yet.
Can I levitate you guys out of here somehow?
We don't know. We don't know the room. Basically, we just know it's filled with this.
Also,
you can see it probably. I don't know if you and.
I think
you might be able to tell us how much there is.
This might be. I might have broken because I wasn't keeping track of your character sheet. I might have broke because I think you cast flight at the rock dwellings, but we can account for it with you've been walking for the better part of an hour, so you could have rememorized that.
Yeah, I would have.
But I don't think that I think you have levitate memorized, but you haven't cast it yet. So
all right,
now you're back at the helm.
Well, then let's send out a log line and looking for 18 to 25 males and see if we can get this thing cast.
Yeah, and the goal here is to cross this storage cavern.
So can I do that one again?
Yeah, make it funny this time.
Or you can do it as many times as you want.
All right, I'll do it as Paul Lynn. Well, so drunk. Sorry, that's my Paul Lynn. I just remember he was drunk. He was great though.
Yeah, so Trondor, he and this is like wading through. It's like a gravel pit. So I mean, every step you take is ankle to calf deep in this sand slash.
Wonderful.
But he thinks it should be safe as long as we don't light anything.
Yeah, he says you know only fire will set it off. So
can I use my e-cig?
Yeah, I think that's okay.
I have some cherry gel.
Let's take a quick break before we
okay, yeah.
get into any shit.
Yep.
And we're in the shit.
All right, so whatever you do, Bart, don't sneeze.
Yeah, right.
Because that would
got it.
That would be bad.
Don't think about pepper. Don't think about a feather pillow. Don't think about looking into the sun.
Pulling nose hairs.
Don't put on your Hunger Games dress.
No, yeah. All those things are bad, Bart. I like that's all directed at Bart.
I'm sorry, everyone. Find the way out.
So Trondor, he sort of gestures. He looks back up at the wall you guys slid down and sort of gets his bearings, and then he starts wading through this. He really, I mean, obviously none of you do, but he really does not want to be found. What happened? Did Brian? Did Brian just drink more
5-hour energy face?
It's like Brian just snorted a bunch of Coke.
Yeah.
Are you coming onto your Molly?
It's working.
I do not know this Brian.
He looks like the Love That Joker newscaster.
5-hour energy is great. They don't mention
never
the
see my
3-hour
eyebrows
diarrhea.
up. That's
No.
all.
Yeah, eyebrows and
I've
also your
barely seen
mouth
your eyes open.
smiling.
I never see your teeth.
Yeah.
That's horrifying. Holy shit. All right. That was too far. Now I've offended him.
Oh, no, he's sleeping.
Yeah, you guys are trudging through this room, trying to be as quiet as possible.
Lethargy.
Trondor reinforces that you do not want. He's like, this would be a terrible place to be discovered.
Should we light anything?
He does.
We'll get
not
Robert
laugh.
Wool out here to fart
Trondor-
Volare with his.
You do not get a ha-ha from Trondor. It's just a flat stare. So you guys are making your way across this massive storage cavern. And you can't see where the other side is. Stargoyle may be able to scout ahead for you if you wanted. But infravision distance, you can't see the other side of this. Sounds big, judging by the faint echoes you hear, even on like your footsteps and the whispers. But
fuck you, GI. Fuck you. Fuck you, GI. Fuck you, GI.
So you do hear as you're going, other than the sounds of your footsteps and the brief communications between yourselves, you don't hear anything until another maybe 10, 12 minutes of slow trudging has gone by. And you do hear what sounds like a big engine start up somewhere way off to your left. And this sounds like some type of mechanism. You can't see anything at first, but it cranks up and it's like it's churning away somewhere over there. Mm-hmm. You're not sure what it is. No lights. Trondor stops for just long enough to recognize that there's something there, and then he just waves everyone on forward. But only like 10 steps later, lights start coming on. And you can't tell if they're magic or if they're if there's some type of focused lantern or something. But it does look like beams of light. 4 of them are shining down in your direction, but not reaching you. Somewhere over there, you can't see what the lights are on or what they're attached to. But the engine sort of revs, and you hear like crunching, grinding, and you see the lights sort of bouncing, and they slowly start moving towards you, like in your direction. You're not sure if you've been seen or if this is just something that goes on down here at this point. Probably best to assume
like it's some
the
sort
worst,
of harvester or a combine or something.
Or
or maybe security.
Right.
As we we could keep going, and you could send Stargoyle to just maybe like eyeball it from the darkness and see what it is. So at least we have a sense of.
He is nearly invisible. Yeah, in the with no light. Yeah, it's almost impossible to see him.
And also, hopefully, see which way is out of here.
I think Sir Richard. I'm still driving Sir Richard. I think he would ask that you'd let him know when you think it's safe for him to throw a beam of Bahamut into the explosive powder.
Right.
He's like, just let me know. And then he uncorks his backpack of beer and dwarf beer and drinks it.
Yeah, right now he's tucking into some Grolsch. Excuse me, I pulled a muscle in my neck when I said Grolsch.
And then he would say, "I didn't kill my wife." That's my Harrison Ford. What do you think, Brian?
Oh my God.
That's your Gerry doing Harrison Ford. Throw me the whip.
All right, so you guys pick up the pace.
Why did it have to be snakes?
You're moving across the across the floor in the direction that Trondor is leading you. You hear two more motors start. One's off to the right, and one is if the direction you're heading is your 12 o'clock, it's at your 1 o'clock. Not directly ahead of you, but it's in front of you. Now this cavern has gotten, now with the sounds of all these, it sounds like positively bustling in here. So
here comes Bigfoot, 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 Bigfoot.
The one, whatever it is, off to the right, you can't see the entire machine, but that one actually lights up. Its lights are not facing you either. They're sort of crossing ahead of you. But it's close enough so that you can see some of the machinery around the lights. And it's like two huge spiked cylinders that are like turning against each other. And it looks like it's, as it lurches into motion, it looks like it's churning through the sort of gravel and crushing it or grinding it probably down into a more manageable powder. But it looks like these are some type of grinders in this room.
Great.
You do have one in front of you now, so you're gonna have to, if you want to avoid these, you sort of have to break left to your 10 or 11 o'clock to try and scoot around it and not be seen by the one to your right.
We should do that.
Is Stargoyle doing recon?
I'm gonna have him go check out one of these things, and I'm also flying, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna kind of try to stay out of the way of the lights and get close to one and see if there's any people on it.
Okay.
Or rats.
Yep.
Or rat people.
All right, so, and that's
Reeple.
two
Or
directions. That's two directions, right? So Stargoyle's going to check one out. You're going to go check another one out. All right. Which one is Stargoyle going to go to? You got three.
You know what? Stargoyle is probably already off checking out the first one that lit up.
Okay.
So I'm going to go fly ahead and take a look at the one that's sort of where we are headed.
In front of you. Okay. All right. So Stargoyle.
And they all seem to be equidistant, right? Are we in the middle of a thing? Or
yeah, you are. The one to the right of you is a lot closer, though.
So
it doesn't seem like an ambush because there isn't a real. I mean, these things started up when they were way away from you, and they don't really move that fast. But the one to the right of you is probably the closest, and it's the one that would be like on an intercept path.
Okay, well, I'll check that one out. Actually, okay. I'll make a little.
All right, so Stargoyle breaks left. He heads off to the first one that started up. You go off to the right, and the rest of you sort of veer a little left to try and avoid the light and the whatever these devices are. So Blackie, you see, and just to save time, we'll just I won't have you guys step out of the office for this one, but Blackie, you see
one of your moves?
It's no, it's fine because he's going to bounce back probably, unless he dies right now, in which case you guys will have to pretend like you don't have any idea how it happened.
Well, that's reassuring.
You see, it looks like a huge six-wheeled, like some type of vehicle.
Please say Moon Patrol.
And it is running on, there's some type of motor running this thing. It's connected to the ceiling by these really like shaky looking conduits, and it's pumping black. You can smell from where you're sort of flying up into the side of it. You can smell like smoke that's being pumped out of it. The whole thing seems very unsafe, especially in a room filled with explosives.
Yeah. I know, and I brought my Shih Tzu.
And driving at what you would assume to be is the sort of the helm. There's a man rat, and he's got one sort of like grimy foot up on the edge. He seems very not at alert, and he's steering the thing with his other foot, and it's just slowly like meandering through this gravel pit, and it's trailing behind it. It's trailing like imagine a minecart, but really big, like the semi truck beds that carried like dirt and shit. Yeah, so it's pulling one of those.
Like we got us a convoy
and filling it with like fine black explosive powder. Walking next to that, there is like a little crew of rats, and they're using like spades to try and shovel in extra. They're like sort of guiding. And
so it's like watching a bunch of guys fix the 101.
Yeah, exactly.
Underground.
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what you see here. They seem very like
disengaged. Do
I see this is a day at work?
Do I see weapons on them?
They have so each. Let me see.
I mean, because I could just hit them with a fireball. What? I could. So it'd be really easy for me to just. Because if I even say magic miss all the way to the end, let me think about it.
Yeah, it would be like the opening credits of Mission Impossible. You see, they have the ones walking on the sides have short swords. You can't see if the driver is carrying anything, but they don't look particularly heavily armed either. So,
all right.
I would like to avoid these vehicles.
The driver, every now and then you hear him from this range. You can hear him. He barks something at the guys.
He's a rat. Rats don't bark.
Yeah.
You know, it might be a good idea instead of trying to cross in front of the lights to just hang back.
Yeah,
and just let these guys pass, and then come up behind them.
Yeah, I agree.
But this discussion happens when you fly back, right?
I'll fly back. I'm just going to say these guys are coming at you. Stay out of the headlights. Just hunker down.
As long as you're not in front of it.
Enjoy a Cliff Bar and some vitamin water.
Yeah. Okay, so
maybe we can ride in the bin behind one of them on the way out.
I'm going to have Sir Richard make sure he keeps his fist closed so that his Iron Man hand doesn't give you away in the dark. And you guys are going to sort of hunker down.
Yeah, I'm going to stay up and alert. Make sure
pretty cool, burying yourself. It's like a desert stealth scene, but instead of sand, it's gunpowder. Yeah, I like your guys' moxie.
Like going into water with a piece of bamboo fashioned into a straw.
Oh, I've been there. I know how that is.
I'd like to get a crazy read so that I could breathe underwater, but it would be fun.
Right?
Yeah, kind of like go around. You can see the air going around.
Figure eight.
All right, so you come back. Stargoyle, and he basically reports the same thing over on the side. There's a little crew of man rats and some grinder that's like chewing up all this gravel.
Grinder.
All right, so you guys...
Right, guys?
Blackie flies back. Stargoyle returns. They hurriedly give you this intel. And then are you guys like sort of like burying yourselves a bit? Or are you not at the moment? You're just staying out of the light for now. Okay, all right.
They're going to pass about how far in front of us?
Well, it's hard to say because they're not very methodical. They're sort of meandering around. But,
I thought they were doing like crosses.
No, the dude's driving with a foot. Like he's just like the one off to the right that you went and checked out. But it's not making real steep turns. So generally it's going to cross in front of where you guys are at right now, it looks like. And you'll have plenty of warning if it starts to...
You know, another thing we could do is to start moving around the back of it too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
All right. So you hold up for just a minute then. And you see the one off to the right. Looks like it's going to pass closest to you first, and he's going back and forth. But his path never veers over, like it's going to cast the lights on you. Okay. And it moves across, and you're not sure how the rats' night vision is. If they have real good night vision. It looks like it will be close enough to you that...
We think they do, right?
Yeah, it would be a safe assumption, but it looks like you may want to back up or hide, because it will pass close enough to you if they have infravision to be able to spot you, so... The one off to the left is still a ways away.
Let's try to get away, then.
Okay, so back up.
Back up a bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Back into the shadows.
Although we don't know how, if we don't know how far they can see, it might be better actually just to back up a bit and then hide. Because,
So we don't get run over.
Well, yeah, they're far enough away that we won't.
Yeah, these things move so slow, you won't, it's pretty much impossible.
So dumb.
But you just don't want to be spotted, so.
We'll do like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Predator.
We haven't rolled yet.
Martin Machine in Apocalypse Now.
And they did it to us already with that weird stuff.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Okay, so you guys back up. You're trying to get out of range, and then you're going to sort of hunker down, get behind some little rises in the gravel, and be in the dark,
bury
out of
each
sight.
other in explosives. Like a fun day at the beach.
Yeah, yeah. So you do that. The one that was off to the right, it meanders by. You don't hear any outcry, anything. It looks like the one that was coming at you from the front is going to pass behind that, and obviously you'll have to move around one side or the other. Now it seems like going right would make more sense because that's the empty side of the cavern. But as the device, the vehicle that crossed from the right passes you, and you have this sort of, you breathe the sigh of relief. You hear off to the left, you hear cries, shouts. There's you hear gravel sliding, and you see the lights on the one. This is still like a good maybe 150 meters out. You see him lurch to the side, like at an angle. It sounds like something's going wrong over there. All the rats on the one that's closest to you, as soon as they hear the shouts, they all bail off of their device. It's still it's still rolling, and they just start running back the way they came, like in the path that they just drove.
Oh, gunpowder worms. Let's get out of the gunpowder worms. This is. I saw this in Tremors, right?
So they start running. They're screaming at each other like
ant lions.
Sounds like hurry up. You can't see the rats that man the one that's ahead of you, but you imagine they're doing the same thing. And so the rats right in front of you they just start booking back the way they came.
I think we should either follow them or go straight ahead now that no one's paying attention to us. But yeah.
Let's take a quick break and then we'll decide. And we're back.
Whew, that was a quick break, you guys. Brought to you by 5 Hour Energy.
All right.
From the makers of 2 hours sitting around and a half hour in traffic.
So off to the left, the rats have abandoned ship right in front of you, and they've started running. Off to the left, whatever happened.
Typical rats.
Whatever happened to that vehicle, you can't tell, but there's a flash. It looks like a camera flash. You're not sure what it was.
Save every one of us.
But it looks like there's been a mechanical malfunction or
yeah. So we need to be following them.
Yeah.
Rat error.
Fuck out of here.
So yeah, what are you guys doing right then?
Leaving.
Booking.
Are we agreed that we need to? They at least are trying to get to safety. So
yeah.
And then we can kill them once we get to safety.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay, so you start running which direction?
We're going to follow the
Follow the rats.
That are
hanging
close,
a right, putting as much distance between. Okay, cool. All right, so you guys break cover, and you just start running.
I'm going to fly ahead and kind of scope out what's going on.
Okay.
Just so I know where these guys are going.
Then I'll cover what you see and they see different for just a minute, and then you just have to act on that. All right, so you fly ahead. Blackie zips up in the air and disappears. It looks like he's doing some recon. You guys on the ground, you're running, and it's sort of it's like running on a. It's like running through like a powdered snow almost. Even though it is gravel, it's sort of like beach jogging. It's sort of laborious. You're past like at your shoulder by what must be the crew of the vehicle, the grinder that was to your left, and they can't like give you like a quizzical glance and just keep on running. So they're like. There's like 4 or 5 rats that are like on all sides of you, but paying absolutely no attention to you. They're just like running.
It's embarrassing for us and our running skills.
Skittering across the top of this gravel.
Traumatic summer camp experience.
One of the rats, as he passes, he watches you guys, slogging through the gravel, and he actually is sort of like breaking through the abject terror that's on all of their faces. He actually sort of chuckles at you guys as these guys are like fleeing past you. Blackie, up ahead where you're at, you're sort of up, keeping an eye on the rats that you were following. Kind of, and checking out the area up there, and it's just like it's like sand dunes of this explosive stuff, and they're leaving like faint powdery trails as they're like scuttling across the stuff. Skittering, yeah, scuttle, skitter, got it.
Sklaggering.
Behind you, from this angle, you see in the distance with your sharp elf eyes, unblocked by rolling waves of gunpowder, you see what looks like a little campfire, possibly may have started somewhere back at the original grinder.
No good.
You're not sure what's burning, but you can see the faint sort of spark and flicker of fire back there. Beneath you, as you're watching, driven by fear, you see a second group of rats that must have passed your comrades a minute ago, hauling ass across the stuff. But you don't see the end of for now, you don't see the end of this tunnel or this cavern. So I don't know if you want to stay. I'm going to go back to them, but I don't know if you want to stay there or fly back.
I'll start flying back.
Okay. All right, so you head back. We're just joined by our paladin. Welcome aboard.
Emphasis on pal. Hi guys.
We're gonna die.
Yeah, this is.
We're waiting around in gunpowder, and some explosion just happened.
I had to work a Michael Bay scene into.
Wait, we're sitting on gunpowder?
We went down into a cavern and
Shit just got real.
Trondor was like, put the torch out, and it's just we're basically on dunes of
in gunpowder.
They seem to be like mining rocks that turn into gunpowder. So now we're racing across it because their equipment has malfunctioned and all the rats are fleeing now because it looks like there's about to be a giant explosion.
The rats seem like the shittiest of. It feels like they're pulling off feats of engineering purely through repetition. Like everything that they do, it's like
this is like flying,
they're strapping explosive,
flying Mohawk air. Like,
right?
Who knows?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. So you guys are running across the surface of the. You were just passed by a bunch of the rats, actually, in a weird sort of "what the fuck are you doing here" moment, and then but you're sharing the common
panic.
Yeah, the common panic of getting away from.
I have an 18 strength though. Could I just swing on one?
Yeah.
Swing on the one who chuckled at us.
I missed him in my run. I rolled a 2.
But
at least I stayed on my feet.
Yeah. Rolled a 2 there, by the way.
Botch and drop your cigar.
So I don't see any sort of end to this cavern.
Not at the moment. There must
Let's
be
go
one.
where the rats are going.
They're definitely.
Yeah. Good plan.
Yeah.
But I don't see where they're headed yet.
No.
I don't see an end to it.
No. So that was I was sort of ending that round or that turn there. So you could stay with them if you wanted. You don't have to fly back if you don't want to. So.
I could fly back fast. I'll stick with them. I gotta see where they're going.
Okay.
So see if there's any some like blast doors or something.
All right. So you're you stay up. Blackie's on point, flying up, and he's sort of eyeballing where the rats are going. You're impressed, even from your lofty perch, with the fear of what could probably cause a nearly thermonuclear detonation. You're impressed with how quickly the rats move. Like they
own these dunes.
Yeah, they are.
They scurry.
The gunpowder Olympics right now.
Yeah.
You stay with them. The rest of you guys run. On point, though, we're going to go with you, Blackie. You see the rats, and they just, without breaking pace, at first it just looks like they disappear. Like they're just running and then they're gone. And as you sort of approach and try and evaluate what you just saw, you see that there is a cliff wall, and it's riddled with holes and that range in size from like garage size holes that would accompany that could accommodate one of the grinders, to just dozens of little crawly rat holes, and they just go into these, like they're gone. They all just pile into little. I mean, these are man-sized rats, so these are like 3-4 foot wide holes,
right.
But the wall is just covered in them.
I think the best bet is probably headed for the garage.
Yeah.
Follow.
Okay. So. You guys are just continuing to follow Trondor. You can't see Blackie at the moment. Do you go back? You probably turn back from the wall once you lose the rats. Yeah. After a couple minutes, and it's a little. You're a little discouraged, not because they suck at running, but movement on the ground is pretty slow. And you've seen the little tiny spark of that fire back at the original grinder. You've seen it flare a couple times, as if a couple bits of the gravel have been ignited, maybe by proximity to the whatever's burning. But you get back to your pals, and they're all chugging. They're all like, their legs are pumping, and they're churning their way over this stuff. Blackie gives you guys the intel that the cliff wall is coming up, and you get the first. There's the first. It's not the full, like it's not. You don't see a white light and you're eliminated, but there's a deafening explosion somewhere behind you. Knowing the size of
it's cool, I got here just in time.
The field of explosives you're in, you know that this isn't the main explosion, but this might have been a one of the cars trailing behind it, and it just goes. It explodes, and it looks like the ball of fire is cut off from your vision, because it just goes boom and then is interrupted by the ceiling. All your guys, the backs of your necks and the backs of your exposed forearms are warmed, and you can see all your shadows stretch out in front of you for just a second as this thing's like and you know Blackie that you're getting close, and the rest of you know that is going to cause secondary explosions as soon as the heat is high enough on the surrounding stuff. So continuing to run, I want to roll real quick now as that explosion.
I'm not rolling with yours anymore. I'm borrowing Ken's dice to roll.
As that explosion went off, you have moved into adrenaline surge sort of mode here. So I want to just roll and make sure there's no incidents. It's low chances. I just don't want anybody, you don't want to trip. So let's roll a 20-sided and
Castle's back. Use the castle.
Oh yeah, we've got our dice dice tower.
I didn't botch that though. I'm gonna.
Okay, yeah. Jerry rolled a 4. All we're looking for is, are you gonna botch?
No.
Right, good.
Double dicks.
Almost a botch too, sir.
I'm botch flying.
And you're flying. Yep.
Botch
right.
adjacent.
I need to borrow somebody's die.
So that was so far no one's botched. This is just a real quick check.
He also rolled.
Did you
2.
both roll 2s?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Didn't someone else roll a 4?
I rolled a 4.
Yeah.
Wow, that was.
Well,
I
get
rolled
it out of your
almost
systems now.
unpleasant.
No, that's good. So you guys continue for this round. Blackie, you sort of guide them as you get closer to the wall to the nearest of the large openings.
Well, can we see that there's holes in the like? Can we see now what?
Yeah, when
Because-
that flash went off, we should have been able to illuminate
The
the
opposite
cavern
cliff wall. Yeah.
Because I'm wondering if we might think that it would be better to go in a smaller hole if there's going to be a bigger explosion.
This will have to be here. I'll turn my little
smaller the
hourglass
hole, the
over.
bigger
Like I'm
the
saying, did he
explosion.
tell us? Oh, here's where we're heading, or did he just lead us and now we all see it and we're going to make our decision about where we go?
There's no water
Do you know
we
what
can
I'm
jump into. Is there a handy bucket?
I think that Blackie usually likes to remain mysterious, so you probably just said follow me, right?
Yeah, well, there's holes surrounding the wall or the garage, but I'm thinking the garage is going to have access to like equipment and stuff. It'll have larger passageways to get away faster. We can just get shielded from this blast a little faster, and it'll probably connect to larger tunnels and mines and stuff and storage areas. And the little holes, I would think, would be rat size, and unless you're a rat, you know where you're going. You're just going to get into a labyrinth.
I thought they were like tunnels, like that.
Yeah, they're like these windows in our little office, our little studio here, about 4 foot.
Yeah, I could be wrong. I don't know what the physics of a massive explosion happening behind you. Whether it would be better to have a wide open area behind you or the smallest possible opening where the fire comes in. So that's all I was thinking. But.
Well, all my knowledge of physics is based on Michael Bay's films. So just imagine what a Michael Bay
do is
explosion.
run away from it.
I'm gonna walk.
Just make sure.
I'm gonna unbutton my shirt a couple buttons.
As long as you
no,
pay
no.
no attention to the explosion and act
I want to get
badass.
into a refrigerator.
You walk away from Jerry. You walk away from explosions that you set.
Right.
You run, and then at the moment of detonation, you jump and you wave your arms around. That's what you do.
Right.
And you go, I'm on vacation.
Okay, well, I guess I will follow the group's lead on that one then.
Yeah, so you see in that that moment that yellow as the yellow light bathes that cliff wall, you do see there's this thing is riddled, even like holes that are 60 feet up. Like the rats.
I mean,
have
none of the
just
rats
From
went
when
in
they
the
were
garage,
pouring,
right?
yeah, as they go
swarmed
lower,
through this,
they-
right.
Yeah. Fuck
So-
it. I'm gonna run into one of the big ones.
All right. So you guys run into there's no secondary explosion when you hit that tunnel. Trondor reassures you that you do not want to that being in the tunnel does not equal safety yet. And he continues like he's like,
Sure.
we've got to run. We
Yeah,
got to
it'd be great
move
if there's a
because this is
side
going to
passage.
become like a
we're not
the
running
barrel
on-
of a blunderbuss.
We're not running on that stuff anymore.
Right.
So, yeah.
So as soon as you get into that tunnel, you see, and there was a few of these larger tunnels. You just ran to the one that was most convenient. You see parked a huge,
Please say Corvette. Please say Corvette.
no, like a huge grinding vehicle.
Can we get by it?
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right. So you've got 5 or 6 feet of clearance on either side of this thing. So you guys
Thomas?
are sort of, yeah. Is that a train? That's the first thing I thought of when you said Thomas.
Thomas.
No,
the train, yeah.
Clearance Thomas.
Oh, got it.
Thomas,
All right.
the
Supreme Court
rat
judge.
the rat powder cake
What?
train.
Yeah, so you guys are running, and now your feet are clear to sprint. You're passing these cars. You get to the back of the tunnel, and there is, much to your happiness, Mildred, there is a single wooden door right in the center of the back of this garage. Clearly, there's
Let's
no
burn it open.
There's no mining done in here. There's no like offloading chutes or anything. This looks like it's just where they park this thing.
Open.
Yeah, so there's another couple flashes behind you, but no
Not
explosion.
interested. Open the door.
You run up to the door. It's unlocked. Wait, who's in front? Trondor's in front, right?
Whoever
All right,
was
then-
running fastest.
I think, yeah. Yeah, it is unlocked. I'll just tell you that. It doesn't really matter because Trondor runs through it like a little tiny Kool-Aid man. Just
Oh yeah.
and you guys move beyond that, there's a room, much to your chagrin, with no exits.
God damn it! I knew it.
But it's piled with
more explosives.
No
pillows,
bandages. Just lots of bandages.
Piled with looks like axles and like a wheel frame and bits of grinder parts.
We're in Dwarven
Shrapnel.
taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. Pelham 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. So I'm getting the signal we're almost done with this episode. So I think we'll end with a flash of light and the first splitting of your eyebrows as the heat starts to rise in this room, and then see you guys next week.
Motherfucker!
What a shitty DM.
Do we have any books coming out?
Deadpool 24 is this week, and then we double ship. I think in 2 weeks we get 25.
Cool.
I think
25 is a good one.
I'll be in Kansas City at Planet Comic-Con in March. Come see me.
Nice. I'll be at Cap City in Austin, Texas, starting tomorrow night, Thursday. And I'll be there all weekend with Ngaio Belam. It's a funny show. And then I'm also...
I love Ngaio.
Yeah, good
terrific.
dude. Known him for years. And then I'm signing Deadpool at Austin Books. I believe it's 1 o'clock on Saturday. I'll be there for a couple hours. Great comic shop in Austin. All right, thanks for listening.
This has been an Earwolf Media production. Executive producers Jeff Ulrich and Scott Aukerman. For more information, visit earwolf.com.
Earwolfradio.com